Python object-oriented programming. See, Python is an object-oriented programming language, but it also supports functional programming. Okay. Object-oriented programming refers to a type of computer programming in which programmers define data and also operations on data.
Yes, sir.
Data and data behavior. Programmers define data and data behavior in object-oriented programming. See, next, Simula. Simula is considered the first object-oriented programming language, but Smalltalk is considered the first truly object-oriented programming. Pure. See, Smalltalk. Smalltalk is the first purely object-oriented programming languages. Next, the popular object-oriented programming languages are, can you tell me, Savita? The popular object-oriented programming languages are C++,
Java, C++, C
uh,
Sharp.
C++ is senior than Java. And one more
Okay, sir.
thing, nowadays, all modern languages are
Language is object-oriented.
object-oriented programming languages.
Yes, sir.
So it is advanced trend, isn't it?
Okay.
See,
Okay, sir.
structured programming, C, 1972, see date of birth.
Okay, sir.
Structured programming, functional programming, not outdated concepts, but old concepts. But
Okay.
object-oriented programming is
Modern.
latest concept, not latest concept. Since 40 years it is from 40 years it is available. But now all modern languages are almost all object-oriented programming languages. See, object-oriented programming concept also not new. It is also
Yeah.
from 35 to 40 days. 35 to 40
Yes.
years. This concept available. Okay. C++, nearly 36 years old. 36
Okay.
years old. Next, Python, 30 years old.
Java.
Next, Java, 26 years old. Next, C Sharp. Next,
Ruby.
JavaScript,
Okay.
single word, JS.
Yes, sir.
Short form is JS. See, there is no relation between Java and JavaScript.
JavaScript. Yes, sir.
Name only. But
Yes.
relation is there in between VB and VB script. See, lightweight version of VB programming language is VB
Yes.
script. But JavaScript, names only related. Okay. Next, you told now
Ruby. PHP.
Ruby. Next, hypertext preprocessor, PHP. Next, Kotlin, etc.
Okay.
Next, everything, Python is object-oriented programming language now. Everything in Python is an object.
Object. Yes,
An object, an object has a state and behavior. See, in the last class, I explained important topics and principles, important concepts and principles in object-oriented programming. See,
yes, sir. Inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation.
Important concepts and principles in object-oriented programming. Class. A class is a blueprint for creating objects. Next, object. Object. What is object? The object is an entity that has a state and behavior. Next, method. Method. What is method? Method is like function. Method is like a function, but it must be called on object associated with the object. Reusable code. Reusable code. Next, constructor interface. Some other concepts also there, but these are important concepts.
Okay.
Rajesh.
Hi sir, good morning. Happy New Year, sir.
Okay, welcome. Same to you. Same to you. Method. Next, inheritance is principle. What are the 4 principles of object-oriented programming? Inheritance,
polymorphism,
abstraction, next, abstraction,
encapsulation,
or you can say data abstraction, next, encapsulation. Okay. First, class. Rajesh. What is class, Rajesh? Class in object-oriented programming. A class is a blue notes I will provide. Observe. A class. Just a minute. A class is a blueprint for creating objects. A class is blueprint to create objects. Suppose one general example. Rajesh, one general example. For example, man is object. Sorry, man is class. Okay,
yes,
man,
sir.
woman, both similar in this scenario. Man is object. Sorry, class. Man is class. Here you can create objects. Suppose Indian. Indian is one type of man, na?
Yes, sir.
Indian. Suppose car is class. Maruti Suzuki. That is object. Suppose bicycle is class. Suppose lady bird, sports bicycle is one object. Okay. Suppose man, Indian or Canadian, American. Okay. Object. Next, methods on man. Actions. Walking is one action on man object, na?
Yes, sir.
Suppose man is old person walking with stick. That stick is argument. Getting the point?
Yes, sir.
Stick is parameter. Suppose
Yes, sir.
5 feet bamboo stick. That is argument. Walking, watching, etc. are arguments. Walking, watching, reading, sleeping, all are actions on man. For actions we perform methods, na?
Sir.
Okay. Just a minute. Create a class. Create a class in Python. See, class is a code block. Class is a code block. In Java also, class is code block. But Java code blocks enclosed with curly braces. Python code blocks follow code indentation. Code indentation.
Code indentation.
Code indentation. What is indentation? What is code indentation?
Spaces before the.
Spaces before statements.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Spaces. Okay. Here we use class keyword. Class. Observe yellow. Class. Suppose my class. My class is class name. My class is class name. Next colon. Code block na?
Yes, sir.
Colon.
Colon.
Next, suppose I'm just
Python.
passing. What is pass? To avoid errors for incomplete code. This is incomplete class now. This is blank class.
Yes, sir.
This is blank class. If you don't use pass keyword, what will happen? Incomplete class na, incomplete code body. Definitely it will show error. Run module. Error na?
Yes, sir.
Indented block. Error. Suppose if you write pass statement, what will happen? It ignores incomplete code. Already we discussed that there Rajesh not available. Observe. Now, no error na. Suppose if you want to create any code, you can create even 1 line or 1,000 lines. For example, observe Rajesh. My var equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. I created just one variable.
Yes, sir.
Run module. Nothing na. We have code. 1 line. Okay.
Yes.
It is complete line. We created a variable in this class.
Yes, sir.
We didn't print. Not required. Whenever you want to print it, you can print. Whenever you want to whenever you want to use this variable for other operations, you can use. Now it is complete code only, Savita. It is
Yes, sir.
complete code only. Okay, single line, but complete code. Okay. Just a minute. This is creating class. Creating class in Python programming. Next, object. Another name of object. What is another name of object in object-oriented programming, Rajesh? Any idea? What is another name of class? Another name of object?
No, sir.
Savita, what is the another name for object in object-oriented programming?
No, sir. Thing or
Instance of class. Instance.
okay. Okay, sir.
That is synonym.
Okay.
Instance. Do you heard this term? Instance of class.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Instance. The object nothing but instance of a class. See, the object is an entity that has Rajesh, do you have Java programming knowledge?
Yes, sir, but little bit only, sir.
Cool. See, similar. It is also syntax may vary from one language to another, but concepts are same. See, the object is an entity that has a state and behavior. State and behavior. See, using object, we can, and one more thing, we can create multiple objects or instance in a class using object, we can call or use class members. See, observe a point. We can create multiple objects in a class. This is one point. Next, technical term, by invoking an object, otherwise we can call class members. We can call class members by invoking an object. Class members, Savita.
Okay, sir.
Do you heard this term? Class members?
No, sir.
Class members.
No, sir.
Class members means class members fields means variables, data fields, variables and methods, See, in computer programming, two important things. What are the two important things? One is data, another is behavior. Data, another is data behavior, Savita. These
Okay,
two
sir.
are the important things in computer programming, especially in object-oriented programming. Data and behavior of the data. See, variables for storing data, methods for defining the behavior of the data.
Okay, sir.
See, variables and methods are called as class members. Local variables are not class members, only global variables.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Only observe this restriction. Local variables are not class members, only global variables. Variables and methods are called as class members. While
Okay.
in object-oriented programming, two important aspects are, one is data, another is data behavior. Variables for storing data and methods for defining the behavior. And one more thing, Rajesh, in computer programming, we have two flows. One is data flow, another is control flow. Data flow, control flow. It's important, data behavior.
Okay, sir.
Next, create an object. In Java na, Rajesh? Can you tell me,
Yes.
Rajesh, how to create object in Java programming?
Sir, we can use the new keyword. By using new keyword, we create
Class
objects.
name. Is it okay?
Sir.
See whether it is predefined class or user-defined class. Class name. Next, object name. Object name is user-defined. It is identifier. New keyword. Again, class name, open and close parenthesis, semicolon. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Java syntax. Next, Python syntax. object name equals to class name, open and close parenthesis, but no quotation. If you use quotation, that is code block na,
Yes, sir.
or code blocks, code indentation required. Here no quotation. That's it. Object name equals to class name, open and close round brackets or parenthesis. Okay na? Just a minute. Create one object in this one, in this class. Suppose my object equals to my object equals to
class, sir.
class name, my class, open and next you use that one, call that variable. Suppose
My
variable
object dot my where.
it is store into a variable.
Variable.
The object dot by where. It is variable. Don't use open and close parenthesis. Open and close parenthesis for methods. You can access Java class numbers, variables and methods. Save, run module. Accessing na? We're accessing na?
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. This is object. Next, method. Now tell me, Savita, what is method? Method is nothing but function.
Function, sir.
It is code. It is a block of code for code reusability. But functions can be used individually, but methods can be associated with objects. See, a Python. Just a minute. A Python method is like a
Function.
Python function. Syntax also same. We create Python function using def keyword, but
Yes,
within program. Here method using def keyword only within class block. Next, but it must be called on an object. Here also an exemption is there. Create one method syntax. I will show as like function, but we create functions in main program, methods within class block. Suppose
Okay, sir.
Def of
def, for example, my method. Here we need to use self parameter. It represents object. It is associated with the object. Otherwise, class method. I will show. Just a minute. Next, I'm writing simple code. Suppose print. It is my first method. It is my first method. No return statement, but inside of this method, print statement is there. It will be printed. Suppose my method 1. My method 1. Suppose my method 2. I'm not using self. Just access my method 1 with object. That is object. See, my method 1 is instance method. Why? I used self. I used self keyword. What is the self keyword? Actually, self is not keyword. Self is parameter. Parameter. What is the self? What is the self parameter? The self is used to represent the instance of the class. Suppose for second method, self not available. This is class method. This is object method. Observe Rajesh. In our Java, static methods, non-static methods are available now.
Yes, sir.
Static methods means we call static methods by using class name. Non-static methods, we call non-static methods by invoking object, by invoking an object. Here also, if you use self parameter, it is not keyword. Keyword color coding, observe, orange color. If we use self parameter, that is associated with the object method. If you don't use self, that is not associated with the object,
but with class.
by using class you can call. You call that method 1. You call that method 1 x equals to object dot my method 1 open and close parenthesis, no argument, self. That is that parameter is default parameter for instance object. Next, print x. Now observe, Savita, what is the last output?
Sir, my method, sir, spelling. My method.
Yes, good observation. Run module. See 1, 2, 3, 4, that variable value. It is my first method.
Sir.
Why it is showing none? What is that none? Oh, this method is not returning any value, Rajesh. No return statement, na?
Yes, sir.
You no need, see, no assignment, no returning value. Only printing. Print statement available in that method. Suppose if there is no print statement in that method, nothing is the output. Suppose print statement is there, you can get that one. Don't use print. Here observe, if it is object, if method is returning a value, then you can return the value to a variable. If method is not returning any value, just execute, just call. Run module. Okay, na? It is my first method.
Yes, sir.
Next, no arguments. Next, Savita, call the method 2. Method 2 is not object method or instance method. It's not instance method. What is the class name?
Class.
My class dot
Dot. By method.
My object. My
Method.
object. And it
Sir.
will return. Just a minute. Message I am changing. My second method. Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
Run module. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is my first method. It is my second method.
Okay, sir.
Rise query, Rajesh.
Yes, sir, sure, sir.
Next, inheritance in Python, Rajesh. Inheritance in Python. What is inheritance? Inherit means reuse. Say, inherit means reuse. Just a minute. Inherit. Python supports 5 types of inheritance. 2 types of inheritance are important. Python supports 5 types of inheritance. Single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. Five types of inheritance. Savita, tell me,
Okay, sir.
Savita,
Think.
what are the 5 types of inheritance that supported by Python?
Single
Single
inheritance.
inheritance,
Multiple, sir.
multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, fourth one, hierarchical inheritance, last one, hybrid inheritance.
Okay.
Tell me, Rajesh, 5 types? 5 types of inheritance.
Single
Single
level
inheritance.
inheritance, multi-level inheritance,
Mhm.
multiple inheritance,
Multiple inheritance.
hierarchy inheritance,
Mhm. Hybrid inheritance.
hybrid. Yes.
Java supports only 4 levels. Single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. Java doesn't support multiple inheritance.
Okay, sir.
Inheritance is an important principle of the object-oriented paradigm. Inheritance provides code reusability to the program because we can use an existing class to create new class instead of creating it from scratch. In inheritance, the child class acquires the properties and can access all the data members and methods defined in the parent class. The parent class is the class being inherited from, also called base class. Next, the child class is the class that inherits from another class, also called derived class. I will show single inheritance and multi-level inheritance. Single inheritance and multi-level inheritance. These two are important. See, single inheritance. Single inheritance. Example, class 2. Class 2. Class 2 inherits class 1. Class 1. Rajesh, here right side is parent,
Yes, sir.
left side is child. Suppose multi-level. You can practice remaining also. A multiple means multiple parents. multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. Suppose class 2, class 1, observe Savita. Next, class 3, inherits.
Class
Inherit means reuse. Class 2, not only 3 classes. Next, class 4 inherits class 3. Class 5 inherits class 4. Like, you can create multi-level inheritance.
Okay, sir.
In this scenario, single inheritance, class 1 is parent, class 2 is
child.
child. Suppose in class 1, we have 4 class members, for example, 2 methods and 2 variables. In class 2, 4 class members. If you inherit class 2, if you inherit class 1, then you can access class 1 class members plus class 2 class members from class 2. Suppose in multi-level inheritance, class 1 is parent, class 2 is child, class 3 is subchild. In reverse, class 3 is child, class 2 is parent, class 1 is grandparent. Both are correct terms. Say if you inherit multi-level, if you follow multi-level inheritance, for example, from class 3, you can access local class members, next parent class members, and grandparent class members. Okay, na? I will provide an example. Suppose multiple inheritance, Savita. Multiple inheritance means multiple parents. Suppose class 2 inherits class 1. Same class 2 inherits class Z, like. Example for single inheritance. Single inheritance. Next, Rajesh, can you recollect how to inherit Java classes? Try to recollect. Otherwise,
Yes, sir.
no problem.
Sir, we
You have
use
any idea, sir?
extend.
Yes,
method.
extends keyword.
Yes,
Using extends keyword. Class 2 extends class 1. But here, no keyword required. How to inherit, I will show. Observe the example. Suppose class is Java keyword in Python keyword. In Java also same keyword available. In Java also class keyword available. Suppose calculator. It is class name, Savita. You can
Yes,
use
sir.
any meaningful name. Next, def. It is method. We are defining this method. We are defining this function inside class. So it is method. Suppose if you define this function outside of the class, then it is function only.
Yes.
Suppose def yard. Yard is method name. Yard is method name. Just a minute. I'm just struggling. Method name. Suppose self means we are associating this method to object or instance of the class. num1 comma num2 num2 colon, suppose return num1 plus num2. Next, oh sorry, f, just a minute. See this blank line only for readability, that is not mandatory. See, after the class definition I used one blank line, that is only readability, that is not syntax. Sub, suppose self comma num1 comma num2, two arguments only. Self is default. Next, suppose just a minute. Return statement. Return statement. num1 minus num2. Next, I'm creating one more class. Class math operations. Calculator. See, this is the syntax for inheritance, Rajesh.
Okay, sir.
This is the syntax. Here no keyword used. Only within this parenthesis we used parent class name. Okay, now?
Okay, sir.
Def, for example, mul self num1 comma num2 colon return statement. What is this one? Multiplication. Next, div. Suppose div for division. Div. This space is not mandatory, only for readability. Okay. Now observe, Savita. Rajesh, are you there?
Yes, sir. I just rejoined.
Okay.
I was not able to
Okay,
hear.
Okay, cool. We created two classes in this program file. Two classes. One is calculator, another is math operations. We inherit math operations. We inherit calculator.
Yes, sir.
Here, math operations means child class of parent class. Child class of parent class. Suppose here create data members. Data members means fields, variables. Suppose A, B, C equals to 1, 2, 3. Next, X, Y, Z equals to 4, 5, 6. Not only numeric, you can use, suppose, India. Now observe, Rajesh. Here we have two classes we inherited.
Yes, sir.
Calculator is parent class in this scenario. Math operations is child class. In parent class, we have three class members, two methods and one variable. in child class also we have 3 class members, 1 variable and 2 methods. And now I want to access all class members from child. Anyhow, we inherited now. Create object and access all 6 class members. Create object first. Suppose obj equals to math operations, object name equals to class name open and close parenthesis. Don't use quotation. Next, call all class members. Suppose first parent class members, x equals to obj
dot
dot abc. Don't use open and close parenthesis. That is only variable.
Sir,
That is not
print
code
of
block.
X.
ABC is not code block. Yard is code block method. Next.
Print X.
Print X. Print X. Next. This is one variable. Next. obj xyz. This is one variable. This variable in local class.
Yes.
Local class means child class. Next, just a minute. X equals to obj dot yard. The yard method for yarding 2 numbers, any 2 numbers. While calling the method, you can provide the values. Suppose I want to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 numbers. Next, print X. Just a minute. Sub. Next, multiplication. Next, div. Suppose 1000 45 1 2 3 4. Suppose these are the values. Save, run the program. Problem. Div. Unindent does not match any outer indent level. What is the problem? Sir, Savita, it is showing syntax error.
Yeah, yes, sir.
What is the problem? Syntax error. Calculator, okay. Problem is there now.
Yes.
One space or what?
One space.
On space.
Nice, sir.
Sensitive. Save. Just a minute. Run module. Okay, na?
Okay, sir.
See, 6 output.
Yes.
First 2 variable values.
Yes.
Last 4 method
Yes.
return values. See, this is about single inheritance. Single inheritance. Example for single inheritance. Next, multi-level inheritance. Example for multi-level inheritance. Example for
Sir,
multi-level.
one question, sir.
Ah,
If we have different files, how do we call, sir?
just a minute.
Like,
Example for multi-level. Just a minute.
sure, sir.
Inheritance. Now tell me, Rajesh, what is your problem?
Sir, question is like in this, we have both files in same py file. If we have multiple
Not both
pys,
files, both classes.
both classes in same py, so we were able to call. If it is in different, do we need to create a modules and call the module? Then
No need to create module. Every .py file is one module only.
yes, sir.
Getting the point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just a minute.
Input Python we do here.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Suppose this is one code. This is one code. Where is that Python shell? Where is that Python shell? IDLE. IDLE. Suppose new file. I'm placing this code in this new file. Save as suppose parent dot py is a default py file.
Yes, sir.
Where it created?
We created in Python folder, sir.
Okay. IDLE, just a minute.
Or recent
New file. Suppose save as
desktop.
Parent. I will save it on desktop.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you want to suppose class 1 means parent available in another file, child available in this file. I want to inherit. For that,
import parent.
Import parent. Import parent. Just a minute, will it execute or any problem? Line 3, class math operations calculator. Name calculator is not defined. Name required.
Calculator is a class name, sir.
Calculator is
class name.
Okay. Suppose just a minute. Run module. Okay now.
Okay, sir.
Got it.
Parent dot. This is this calculator available in parent now.
Yes, sir.
Parent dot calculator. Good question, Rajesh. It is okay now, Rajesh?
Yes, sir. Got it. Thank you.
We are accessing from another. We are accessing classes from two different files. Two different files. Yes, you can access from two different files. Earlier, both the classes in single file. This time, two different files. Import the parent class file and using parent. This is file name. This is file name, or you can say module name. Module name, file name is default module name, na? file name dot class name.
Parent class name.
File name dot class name. Next, example for multiple classes. Multiple class. It is also simple. Observe. Suppose class one, class 1 colon just a minute, class 1 suppose where are they? Class 1 we have 2 methods or 10 methods or 20 methods. Next, class 2 inherit this one, class 1. Next, in this class 2, suppose code indentation important. Just a minute. Code indentation important. Okay. Next, suppose class 3, class 2, class 3, class 2. Now observe, Savita,
Sir.
in this file, we have 3 classes.
Yes, sir.
Not only single file, you can access multiple classes from different files. No issue. By
Okay, sir.
importing.
By import. Yes.
You can import multiple modules, no problem. You can
Okay.
write multiple import statements. Import module 1, import module 2, import module 3, like that. Okay. Now I am using single file. After the class, you try with multiple files, no issue. Here I have 3 classes. Class 1. In that class 1, we have 2 class members, 2 or 10 or 20. Next, in class 2, we have 1 class member. In class 3, 1 class member. Next, class 1 inherited to class 2 now.
Sir.
Next,
Class
class
2
2
is
inherited to class 3 now. In
Yes,
this
sir.
scenario, class 1 is parent,
Parent.
class
Class
2
two.
is child,
Mm.
class 3 is
Subject.
subchild. In reverse order, not reverse order, correct order, class 3 is child, class 2 is parent,
Parent.
class 1 is
Grandparent.
grandparent. See,
Yes,
both orders are correct, no problem.
Yes.
Next, I want to access, I want to create an object in class 3 and want to access class 3 class members, class
Class
2
2.
class members, and
Class
class 1 class members.
Yes.
Now I am in class 3. Class
Yes.
3.
Okay.
Obj equals to class name,
Yes.
class 3, open and close parenthesis. I created an object in class 3. Next, access all class members from all 3 classes. First, grandparent, or no sequence. You can access any. Suppose returning value now, x equals to obj dot add 100 comma 200. Next, print x. Just a minute. Next, sub is also available in grandparent. Next, mul is available in parent. Next, div, it is available in local
Child.
class. Local, okay, child. Suppose this one. Save, run module, the 300, addition of two numbers, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, na?
Okay, sir.
Now, Rajesh, this is multi-level inheritance. Multi-level. Parent, child, sub-child, sub-sub-child, like that. Okay. Tomorrow we will meet. Before that, now you create two files instead of single file. Suppose here class 1, class 2 available in another file.
We can use the parent file as well, sir. Calculator.
Just a minute. Hold on, parent file.
We have calculator in right. We can use.
Yes.
Recall that.
You no need to delete. You can use directly, no problem.
Yes, sir.
Now
Import parent.
Import parent.
Import parent. Next.
Parameter parent dot class 2.
Parent dot class 2. But what is the connection between class 2 and class 1?
Class 1. In parent py it is there.
In parent, okay. Relate class 2 and 3. How to relate class 2 and 3? After the class, we check that one. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now parent dot class 2. Parent dot class 2. Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
Run module.
Same outputs.
It is working.
Yes, sir.
How it is working?
In parent, we already doing one level of inheritance, sir. This is second level inheritance here.
Yes. Here already we did one level.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
na?
Yes, sir.
Already we did one level. Suppose after the class you try, Rajesh, if you don't do this one level inheritance, then what will happen? Okay.
Oh, sure, sir. Okay.
Now it is working fine. Okay,
Yes,
na?
sir.
Okay,
See, this is about inheritance in Python. Here you can try hierarchical inheritance, multiple inheritance, etc. Important topics are single inheritance, multi-level inheritance. Remaining also you can try like this. Next, tomorrow tomorrow will be the last class, I think. I will explain polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. Okay. Now I am going to close the today's class, Rajesh. Any queries regarding this today's class? Today we discussed. What we discussed today?
Class, object, method.
Class, object, method, and inheritance.
Inheritance.
What about you, Savita? Any queries?
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. We'll meet tomorrow, same time. Thank you.